Hello, everybody. This is Meagan,
And this is Alana.
and welcome to Tea Time Crimes.
Happy holidays. Christmas is here.
Yeah, we're here for our Christmas episode. This whole episode
I'm
is
pumped.
my gift to Alana for sitting
So
through
excited.
40 true crime stories that she didn't always love.
Yeah.
Didn't. What was your least favorite episode that you sat
The
through?
Freeway Phantom.
I thought so. I knew it. I'm sorry.
Whenever some of my people who are like me, I'll tell them not to listen to that one because it just crosses the Alana line.
Yeah. What has been your
F
favorite
that guy.
episode? Yeah.
I can't pick. I mean, my head always goes to the Bonnie and Mary,
Yeah.
but it's tough. There's been a lot of fun ones and just people who are just like, why did you make that choice? You're wild.
So, okay. So today, for those of you, if this is your first listen, welcome.
Bonjour.
It's different. You might want to hop over to like a Lizzie Borden or a Jolly Jane episode to get a true taste. But, right, Alana hates true crime. So she comes in knowing nothing. I present a true crime story.
I know nothing.
From the woman's point of view, which is typically the criminal, but not always. Sometimes we do survivor or missing persons. And today for her, this is just totally for her. So she always kicks it off with a tea review, and then I go into the true crime. So she's having me try a tea for the first time. Mm-hmm. How do you pronounce it?
So it's either pronounced boba tea or bubble tea. It's one of my favorites. Okay. It's really big in LA.
Okay. So I have a cup of it here that I'm going to try. The bubbles are they the bobas? The balls
tapioca.
Make me very nervous.
They're nice and slimy.
I don't like slimy, I don't like chewy, and I don't like tapioca.
You don't like textures.
So
this is gonna go great.
So I expect it to go swimmingly. And I'm covering two women today who I have come across researching other stories, but could not feature them because they are technically not criminals or missing persons or survivors. Like they didn't fit the true crime genre. So they're just kick-ass women who I knew Alana would love. So I'm going to feature those two women today. If you're thinking, oh, I want true crime, I get you. But trust me, these women are awesome. Just sit tight. And to top it off, we are having a very special guest join us today. Yeah. Do you want to explain who's coming to town?
Yeah, I do. So we're going to have Kate Boylan on, who is a dear friend of mine. She's a New York City-based harpist, writer, award-winning producer, all of the above. She actually just released her debut holiday album of her harp music called Strings of Light, which you can find on any streaming platform, wherever you get your music. And it's beautiful. It's all holiday themed. And if you want to find out more about her or book her for an event, because having a harp at an event makes it magical, go to maryKateBoylan.me. And I'll put that in the source notes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful album. I've been listening to it all morning.
Yeah.
And I believe that Mary Kate has got a couple of shout outs previously. I believe in one of our episodes you talked about a girl who saw you in open-toed shoes in the dead of winter in New York and just said, nope.
That's her.
That was her,
Good
right?
pullback.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So she's been featured before on our show, but now she's going to feature. So let's go ahead and welcome her on. Here she is.
She's here.
Hi, Mary Kate.
Hi. This is so exciting. Hi. As a super fan, this is so exciting.
You're a super fan, but you're also an Alana, right? Like you don't like true crime either, correct?
Yeah, like that's one of my fears about joining you all. Like, as a super fan, I couldn't pass up the opportunity, but also like, I feel like Meagan is going to have to deal with like a double dose of foolishness now. Because
Double earmuff.
I don't earmuff is the thing. Like, I listen through because I need to. No, I always think like, I don't know how you're doing that because I'm way too curious. Like, I don't know
it's a battle.
I know what's good for me and I don't do that. Like, I just
yeah, Alana doesn't even listen back to the episodes. She'll just avoid full episodes.
I'll like be alone in my apartment and like, I'm getting scared. I'm getting scareder. I'm like, I really should stop. I should wait maybe until my fiance Alan comes back so I'm not alone. And I just like get terrified. And then I like deadbolt our apartment door. Like, there's like, I'm running through little locks. I'm like, is there something under my bed? I'm the scaredest lady.
Wow.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Well, I appreciate you sticking with it. Yeah. And she's still listening, folks. So for everybody out there who's like, oh, I don't have time to listen to a podcast, suck it up and take a page out of Mary Kate's book here.
Yeah. So dipping your toe into the true crime.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a nice warm bath into the true crime world. I really do my best to keep out a lot of details. But today, this is Alana's episode, so there's no, I won't have to earmuff you at all. You guys are just going to be pumped through all of it.
It's going to be the opposite of the last Halloween episode where I was earmuffed for basically the whole
you were earmuffed for
just hanging out.
I was alone.
I was just like, this is great.
I don't ever want to do that again. I don't like doing it by myself. Okay, so Mary Kate has a new album out that Alana just mentioned, so we're gonna play that while we do our tea review. So Alana, do you want to go first for your review, or do you want me to suck down this gross tapioca concoction you made me get?
Let's do yours first. I want to see you suffer.
Oh, it's very sweet. So I need to re-stir it. Explain everything to me.
You didn't. Okay, so
how do I open it?
Bubble tea. No. Where's the straw?
Oh my God, cool it.
You have to jam it in.
Oh God, this sounds terrible.
Be violent.
Yeah, pretend you're one of these people and really stab it.
Yeah.
Stabby. So I have to suck up the balls through the straw?
Yeah. Let's suck up the slimy balls.
I'm already upset.
All right, she stabbed it.
Oh God,
okay.
I've hit
Did you
something.
take a picture of it?
I did. Yeah, cool it. I did. So you didn't tell me anything, so I didn't know what to do.
Didn't.
I got classic pearl black milk tea, regular ice.
Okay.
50% sweet. I didn't know what to do.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I don't.
I figured you would be like 2% sweet, and I probably would be 100. So I just cut the difference, and then I added pearls, which I think are the disgusting things at the bottom.
Yes. So these are tapioca balls, which is basically rice pounded into squishy stuff. Like, that's what mochi is. And so it's little tapioca, and they're called pearls, boba, bubble tea. So stir it up real good because they need to have a little refreshment. And then you try to get a good ratio of boba to milk tea.
I can't stir, they're too thick. It looks like fish eggs.
Yeah, some caviar.
Oh
there
God, it's spilling everywhere. Hold on.
This is already going great.
I dropped my spoon. Hold on.
Mary Kate, do you like bubble tea? I don't remember.
It's one of those things that I feel like I just act like I've had before, but have never actually had. Like, I'm like, oh really? Yeah, I love it. Like, I know that spot because like I walk by it, but I've never actually gone.
All right, are you ready?
And you just got regular, the classic milk tea?
Classic pearl black milk tea.
Okay, great. That's a great way to start. Go for it. All the way!
Oh, like part of the pearl got stuck in that straw. Hold on, you really have to suck. Hold on. Oh God, there's like 4 of them on my tongue. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Give it a chance.
They're on my tongue and I hate it. Why are they so chewy?
It's me.
2 thrusting thumbs down.
No.
I dislike that, and that cost me so much money. No, I hate it.
What about the taste of the tea?
No.
Why don't you start there?
I don't like any of it. I can't even get a good taste because all these balls are jamming up the straw.
So you would say it's not a good mouthfeel.
It is not a good mouthfeel, Mary Kate. Oh, it's like really sitting in the back of my, it's like stuck in my teeth. Oh, God, it is lingering. Fun. Everything you've said before is making sense now. Like it's sitting in the back of my mouth and it will not go away. It's like an intruder.
There you go. Look at this tea review.
Yuck. I apologize to the Share Tea Company, but it is just not for me.
It's not your fault.
I'm gonna put it in the fridge and give it to Brad.
Yeah.
All right. Like go with your tea.
Well, it's not tea today. So last week we had eggnog tea, and Megan's like, "Why don't you just go for some eggnog?" So we're trying it.
Because you said you'd only ever had eggnog at a garage sale, which was very worrisome to me.
I love garage sale. I was like, sign me up. I want like $5 furniture and like basement eggnog.
Yeah, I was gonna say a man who made eggnog in his basement.
You guys were trashing eggnog. I love eggnog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't like it.
Just a reason to have some like vanilla ice cream in some sugary alcoholic thing. I was like, yeah. My dad always makes it.
Another one of our listeners did it. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And by makes it, I don't mean makes it homemade. Like he goes to Wawa. We're from Philadelphia. He goes to Wawa. He picks up Wawa brand eggnog.
Of course he does.
But we're like, oh, Dad's special recipe.
Homemade. And then he sells it at all the garages in town.
Right.
All right, so you made homemade eggnog, right, Alana? No?
I didn't.
Excuse me. What did you do
So
then?
I was going to, but then...
I can still taste that tea.
We were driving around, I mean, not just for fun. We were on the way back or something, and we stopped into one of our favorite places, which is also a brewery, and they had 3 special holiday drinks going on, and one of them was an eggnog drink. So we're like, this is probably going to be one of the better ones because they're professional drink makers and not garage sale holders. So
right.
Those are the 2 types of people who make.
Yep. There's no other ones.
There's no in between there, Mary Kate.
A and B. A and B. I don't know. It's just like the thought of drinking like raw eggs. Also, this has alcohol in it, so 8:30 a.m.
We're recording real
YOLO.
early. Yeah.
I wish I would have been informed that we were drinking.
Go grab some rum.
I know, right? I'll see what I have in the fridge.
Get a shot. All right.
Here we go.
I can already smell it. Okay.
Oh. She doesn't love it.
It's so thick. It's so thick. Hold on.
I don't want to hear it. I just had a boba ball fall out of my tooth in the back. So I don't want to hear it.
All right, that's strong rum, first of all. It's just a little too sweet for me. I don't know what it is. Like, maybe if they dialed back on the sweetness, or like, do they ever put like gin in here? Something to
if they changed
it.
The entire recipe of this classic, then you would like
for you.
Like, I don't hate it, but it would not be my go-to. I'd rather, if we're doing holiday drinks, I'd rather have a spiked hot chocolate with Baileys or a mulled wine.
Yeah, your face says that you hate it.
I just wish it was thinner.
Rude.
Yeah.
You don't have to body shame eggnog.
If I could, Mary Kate, I'd hand that over to you.
I know. I'm so jealous that it's just going to sit on your desk for the rest of the
Will Chris at least have it? Will he finish it for you?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'll try to drink some more. It's
of course you will.
Terrible. It's just
Do you know that about Alana? Like, she'll suffer through something just to complete it.
Right, which is so silly because it's like, I'll have a sip of something mean like, this is not for me. Like, I'm just constantly making impulse decisions and then getting rid of them.
You should have seen our dorm room in college.
Yeah. Oh, it was horrible. That was a real time in our lives, and I'm glad that we've matured.
What was wrong with it?
It was just a mess. Like, and a mess, like, you're
terrible.
thinking, like, oh, there's, like, papers everywhere. Like, no. We had we shared all of our clothes. Like, we would just, it was communal. And it was just, like, a pile of clothes on the floor. And we would just wake up and pick up, like, okay, leggings, a shirt, a jacket, like, from this pile. You're, like, throwing things around, and then
Are you guys even the same size?
I don't know how that worked. shocked, but it did.
No, we are.
Because Mary Kate's taller than me.
She's taller than you, right?
Significantly.
Right.
Well,
Right.
like
So-
4 inches probably,
Right.
yeah.
So things would just fit
Significant.
slightly differently.
So Mary Kate had a real Capri stage.
But I feel like in college, you're not thinking about fit. You're like, okay, I have
No.
clothes on.
yeah.
This is
Wow.
good.
So even our RA was disgusted by us.
Really? I don't even remember that. I don't remember
Yeah.
having an RA.
What?
I mean,
Vanessa.
no.
Wow. Sorry, Vanessa, R.I.P. See ya.
Yeah, we were a real mess.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we cleaned up our act eventually.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah.
you're so structured now, Alana. What happened?
Oh, graduated college
Wow.
and had to
Okay.
grow up.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
survived that.
College was just a
Mm-mm.
mess, just all
It
the time.
was.
Like freshman
yeah.
year, I was just drinking like, you know those Freel like milkshakes where it was like new technology and you'd like pop a cup up and this like machine would turn it into a milkshake.
Make a milkshake. Did you
Yeah.
have that, Megan?
I would
No.
just drink that as like my water, like with a side of like chicken fingers and French fries. I'd be like, great.
Yeah.
Now,
Like,
now you're speaking my language. Now I'm on board.
You're the epitome of health.
Yeah, yeah.
But now
I feel like I'm breathing that tea. Like it will not go away.
Oh,
The
I'm so jealous.
The taste is so strong. Well, we
I
all
just
just
had
need.
boba yesterday.
You need to hand yours to Mary Kate. I need
Right.
to
Yeah.
hand mine to yours, and then we'll all be good. So, Mary Kate, the music for your album "Strings of Light." Is
yes.
that, I said that so weird. "Strings of Light."
Strings of light.
Strings of light.
No, I like
It's thank you. I was just trying to remember where the S was. It's beautiful. I was listening. I've been
is.
listening all morning.
It's been on repeat in my household.
Which because she has to get her fill in because as soon as January 1st hits, you're done, Mary Kate. She can't play
These
it
are
because it's a
strict
holiday.
rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
holiday
Except
album.
for
You're out.
there is one song that's not a holiday song, which I will keep on the itinerary. Everyone's all right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Awesome. So Alana already said where everybody can get this, but how long did it take you to record? How long have you been playing?
Tell us all about this debut album.
Yes.
It's one of those things that I wish I would have thought of, like months ago, but I didn't. So I started recording it in October. I started getting everything ready. And a lot of the songs
Oh.
were already in my repertoire. I've been playing since I was 7. So a lot of them are things that I play every time around this year.
Yeah.
There were a few that I learned new, like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas and Fairy Tale of
That's
New
my
York.
favorite one.
That's my favorite too.
Yeah, I love that one.
So yeah, I just recorded it over the past couple months, which was funny because I was living in Christmas world when no one else was.
Right. And you posted a picture recently of what you had to do to record. Do you want to talk us
Yes.
through that?
Well, I live in New York City. So it's so loud. There's
Yeah.
sounds everywhere. There's leaf blowers and everyone's honking and they're building something new every week. So I had to wake up to start recording at 5 a.m.
Oh.
before the city woke up. And
Wow.
we would put our mattress against the windows because we're facing the street and then made a fun little fort for my harp with a bunch of blankets
Awesome.
to just keep all of the sound in. And then
Just me and my harp in our fort.
yes. Yeah, we were just hanging out. And then I'd send everything to my friend Jack, who produced it over in Ireland, and he'd send it back. And it was a very
Oh.
fun little process.
Oh, love it.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Take a listen. I guess it's playing right now, actually. So just stop listening to Alana and listen to that in the background.
That's fair.
How long did you get to, from when did the city wake up? Would you have 2-hour sessions?
Right. The city starts to wake up at 7 and then is fully awake at 8. So it would be 3 hours to get everything done. And so I did that a few times.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Okay, are you ready? Alana, I'm so pumped to share these stories. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so we're going to cover 2 women today who I've come across in my research because I do all the research for this. Alana doesn't know. She truly comes in flying blind and just trusting me that I won't destroy her day.
Yeah.
And I've come across these women, but I couldn't feature them because they didn't commit a crime, unfortunately for me. But today, here we are. So the first woman that we're going to talk about is Mary Fields. And she is a gunslinging, cigar smoking, whiskey drinking woman.
Yeah.
Who they called Stagecoach Mary in wild Montana in the 1800s.
Oh my God, I'm pumped.
Oh, you're going to love
I can already see what she's wearing.
Oh, she's amazing. So Mary was born in Tennessee, and she was born into slavery around 1832. Not great records because it's 1832 and also because she was a slave. So she grew up for the first 30-some years of her life. She's working in the cotton fields in Tennessee. Alana just forgot that she had eggnog and took another sip and regretted every moment of it.
I feel like by the time you get, like halfway through, you're going to be like, this is amazing.
Yeah, because you'll be drunk. Yes. I'm actually digging it. So after the Civil War, Mary is emancipated. So around 1865-ish, my war buff there. And she's most likely in her early 30s. Okay. Now, there's not detailed records of what happened to Mary during this kind of middle part of her life. So there's a couple of theories that come out. Eventually, everybody agrees that she ended up in Toledo, Ohio at a convent, not as a nun, but working for the convent. Now, how she got there is up for speculation. So there are some people who believe that she was actually friends with the Mother Superior, which is the head of the nuns, Alana. If you weren't raised, I know you weren't raised Catholic. And she was friends with Mother Superior, Mother Amadeus. And they thought maybe that Mary was actually a slave for Mother Amadeus's family, and they had kind of grown up together, and they had their friendship that way. Other people believe. What? Do you have a question?
In Ohio? She was a slave in Tennessee?
Yeah, but Mother Amadeus was in a convent in Ohio.
Okay. I mean, maybe she went north just because it was more friendly, too.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But the other theory is that after she was emancipated, Mary worked on a steamboat. And on this steamboat, she met the former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Arizona Territory, because we aren't even states yet, Edmund Dunn. And Edmund noticed in Mary just how unique she was, that she was hardworking, that she had a great personality, and she happened to be really good with children, even though she had this kind of rough exterior. She seemed to have a soft spot for kids, which I feel like people just assume women are good with kids, and that is not the case.
No.
Like, it's a true talent if you're a man or a woman who happens to have the patience to deal with children. It's a different kind it's a different kind of talent. So he asked her to come to Florida with him and take care of his children, be a live-in nanny. This source believes that she went there, but shortly after she arrived, Edmund's wife died. Just unexpectedly from a sickness. There's no foul play here. Now, when Edmund was left with 5 children on his own, he didn't know what to do, and he thought they'd be better off with his sister, who is believed to be Mother Amadeus, and Mary was to take them to her.
Got it.
Now, when Mary arrived at the convent, Mother Amadeus said to Mary, "Hey, you've had a really long journey. Would you like to, take a load off, take a rest?" And Mary said, "What I'd like is a cigar and a stiff drink."
Yes.
Mother Amadeus was like, "I'm sorry, we don't have that here. This is a convent."
Oh, you don't stock that at the convent? Weird.
Sorry, we're out of luck. But they were friends that they knew each other already, or they took an instant liking to each other, friendship at first sight. And she asked Mary to stay on and work at the convent. So for several years, Mary was kind of just running things there. She did the gardening, she did the cooking, she did the cleaning, she did the lawn. One of the other nuns said, "God help the person who steps on the lawn after Mary's finished, because you're in trouble." And so Mother Amadeus loves Mary. Mary loves Mother Amadeus. But some of the other nuns maybe don't feel the same way. They're struggling because Mary has this gruff exterior. She has a little bit of a temper. She's definitely drinking, smoking. Her language is a little suspect. So it's kind of a weird pairing, but Mother Amadeus, it works. So she works for a long time at this convent, and she only gets paid $50 a year, which she is not shy about telling the nuns that you don't pay me enough for what I do. And she tells them that constantly, which I have to kind of side with Mary on this one.
Yeah.
$50 a year doesn't seem fair.
It's rough.
To give you a picture, Mary was, everything I've said, hardworking, like big personality. She was also incredibly strong. And I'm talking like moving pianos, Belle Gunness, kind of strong. She
Wow.
stood 6 feet tall. She was 200 pounds. And
Get
she
it.
is working right alongside men and just destroying them.
I bet she could deadlift a shit ton.
Yeah, exactly. Well put. So in 1884, Mother Amadeus is actually sent to St. Peter's Mission in Montana, which is not even a state yet. It's just Montana territory. And it's not even a, like, they have to build the buildings for this convent. They're building a school. They're building the outer buildings. It is, I mean, Mother Amadeus, I mean, we should probably profile her at some point too, because she's having to go to Montana, the Wild West, and like set up this convent, right? She asked Mary to come, but Mary didn't want to. At this point, Mary's in her 50s. Okay.
Oh, man. Okay.
Mary's in her 50s. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm used to Ohio. Like, I got a good thing going on here. But the following year, in 1885, Mother Amadeus becomes incredibly ill with pneumonia.
Oh, no.
And she's in just Montana territory. It's not like she's sitting next to the hospital, right? This is serious stuff. So Mary just packs up and goes on her own in her 50s to Montana to help her friend. Like, they hadn't seen each other.
Like Oregon Trail shit, man.
That's so scary.
So scary. They hadn't seen each other for a year. And you imagine when they said goodbye to each other, these are women in their 50s in the 1800s. They were like, this might be it. Like,
yeah.
We're not going to be FaceTiming later. This might have been the end of ever seeing each other. So
yeah,
they probably, they probably hadn't really been talking a lot over that last year, but she packed everything up and she went. And when she saw how sick Mother Amadeus was, she just stayed there to take care of her.
Yeah.
So did Mother Amadeus survive? Because she had to wait for Mary to get there. Yeah, you bet she did. Mary knows what's up. Mary nurses Mother Amadeus back to health. And then she asks Mary to please stay on at that mission.
Oh.
So she has this new gig.
It's a little bit of a guilt trip. Just going to put that out there.
Well, I mean, do you think Mary wanted to go all the way back? Come on.
Yeah,
now.
I would just be like, do you know what? I made it here.
Yeah, I'm here now. This is it. And I'll tell you, like, just this town is totally underdeveloped. It's in Cascade, Montana. And at the time when Mary arrived, she was the first African-American woman to step foot into Cascade, Montana.
Oh my God. That's insane.
So Mary agrees to stay on at the convent. She loves Mother Amadeus. They have like a real they're BFFs. And Mary is again doing the gardening, cooking, laundry, but there's also a ton of construction. Like I mentioned, this is totally a new convent. So Mother Amadeus appoints Mary the forewoman of all the construction.
Badass.
I hope that comes with a raise.
Yeah, hopefully it comes with a raise. I think it did. Yeah. So Mother Amadeus is like, she's the best woman for the job. And so she's going to be the one doing it. Now, Mary is helping with the construction as the forewoman and, directing a team of men. Most of the men are using wheelbarrows, but Mary's just lifting it right on up, hoisting it on her shoulders and carrying everything. This is a woman in her 50s.
She's my role model.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do it now. I'd die.
I need a poster of her.
And so these are like men who are like 20 years younger. They're putting everything in a wheelbarrow and wheeling it over, and Mary's just hoisting it up on her shoulders and carrying it faster than them.
With a cigar in her mouth.
Yeah, and then taking a break at the bar. So, like I said, Mother Amadeus recognizes Mary for who she is and appreciates her, but some of the other nuns again are a little bit, this isn't like proper Catholic behavior that we're witnessing here. And the bishop had received some complaints about Mary's behavior over the years. Yes. And then, unfortunately, when she's 60, one of the janitors of the convent gets in Mary's face, and he's upset because Mary has a higher position than him and Mary gets paid more than him.
Oh.
And the story is unclear, but it's thought that he provoked Mary in some way. Some say that he slapped her, in which she pulled out her gun and fired a warning shot, and he ran for his life. Others say she actually shot at him, but that seems unlikely because I don't think she would have missed.
Point blank.
Yeah. Some say she shot him in the butt, which I wish, but I don't.
That would be a hilarious way to shoot someone.
I know, right? She's like, good luck sitting down for the next 10 minutes, sir. we think she probably was provoked and she fired a warning shot. Guns were fired. Her and the janitor immediately kind of worked it out. I think the janitor probably peed himself and was like, never mind, my bad.
Probably.
Like, you're good. And they worked it out, but news got around. So the bishop finds out. He's also been hearing, right, everything about her nightlife because she goes out drinking at night. She enjoys it. She enjoys a good whiskey.
And what else is he going to do?
Right? She's been drinking at the bars this whole time, and the town has come to love her. The guys at the bar are, like, respect her. They're happy to see her. She's their drinking buddy. She goes in wearing men's clothes. She's got a gun on her. Everybody just accepts her. In fact, she's known for being able to punch men out with a single punch. So she had, the story goes that men would come in and bet her that you can't knock me out in one punch. If you can, I'll give you money and a free shot. And it said that she never lost a bet.
Wait.
Yeah.
How does she get the money and the shot if they're unconscious?
I assume you have to pony up beforehand. You got to put the money in the...
They also come too.
Yeah, they're not dead.
So, some smelling salts.
Oh my God. She gets fixated on the horse detail.
I know. I always feel so bad listening because I'm just like, imagine all of these questions are coming at you from left field, all based on wars. Like, I don't know what any of the wars were.
Yeah, I don't know anything that's happening. I've only researched the person.
She'll be like, and what was their middle name? And do you have their confirmation name as well? I'm like, what?
Who baptized them?
Oh, there's a jingle. Alana's wearing a Christmas vest, and she decided it was cool to have jingle bells on during this.
I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, oh, it's perfect. All right. Anyway, so she's punching out guys.
I love it.
She's drinking whiskey. She's smoking cigars.
I love
the
it.
bishop is not loving this, as you know.
Oh, sure.
The face of the convent, and then she gets into this little bit of a tad of a gunfight, like a little bit of a gunfight.
Yeah, we're shooting at the floor, or the ceiling, or the butt.
Yeah,
I feel
maybe
like
hitting the butt.
for like this time, like that kind of gunfight would just be happening constantly.
Oh,
absolutely.
sure. It's Wild West, right?
For sure. I don't think anybody would have blinked twice if Mary was a white man.
Exactly.
Right? They would have been like, no, that's fair. That other guy was mean. So the bishop, Mother Amadeus, pleads with the bishop, but he says, no, she's gone. So Mother Amadeus, who's her buddy, has to tell Mary that news. She probably offered to because it would probably be better coming from Mother Amadeus than, the mean bishop. But he will not change his mind. And so at 60, Mary finds herself homeless and unemployed because she lived at the convent.
Right.
Mary happens to be an excellent cook. So a bunch of Mary's friends, I think Mother Amadeus included, they gather funds to help Mary open up a restaurant.
That's cool.
Cool.
Well, she does this for about a year, and then the restaurant goes under. And it said that, again, despite her gruff exterior, she would not refuse anybody who needed food. So she was just giving out meals for free constantly and unable to support.
She's too used to being in a convent.
The business,
It's just charity.
Right? So after about almost a year, the restaurant closes down. And so she needs something new. So Mother Amadeus is still trying to help her. She's trying to, get her jobs and things like this. But Mary says, I really like my independence. Just like, I'm going to figure this out. So in 1895, the Postal Service has what they call star routes. And so they were contracting these routes. And these are routes that are, not anything we could imagine today. These are routes between
you're going through
these
wild territory.
Yeah. These tiny little mountain towns. They're these treacherous, mountain passes up and over in the heat of the summer and the dead of winter. So they are contracting out, and whoever bids on it, whoever has the best bid, the U.S. Postal Service would award it to that person. So there is a man in town who had several of these routes that he had bid on. And then a lot of times whoever won the bid would then subcontract it. Okay. So Mary goes to this guy and she's like, I can do this.
Oh, for sure.
And he's skeptical. He's looking at a woman in her 60s and he's like, he said, I'll tell you what. It's a team of 6 horses and a stagecoach. Whoever can get the team ready fastest will win the bid. So
let's go.
All these applicants line up. These are men in their 20s, 30s, and then there's Mary, who's in her 60s, and she crushes it. She is by far the fastest.
Yes, I love it.
And he's like, all right, I guess it's yours. So Mary wins the route, and she becomes the second woman in the U.S. Postal Service and the first African-American woman to serve for the USPS.
So cool.
Isn't that neat? And like, you know, we've talked about this before. My dad is a retired mailman, and he was in the Postal Service for like 40 years. The Postal Service back then, no offense to my dad, but holy moly. I'm like, you are putting your life on the line. Like, you are expected to protect the mail at all costs and like give your life to protect the mail at this point in time. That's how they are trained, because this is the only form of communication. It's not like, oh, I missed a Christmas card. Don't worry, I'll get an email. This is the only form of communication. This is the only way that information can be spread. People have been waiting weeks, months to hear or get like the next intel or hear news. And so it is like super, super serious. So Mary is now having to deliver the mail over these treacherous routes, right? Sleet, rain, snow, all that jazz. The stagecoach weighs about a ton. It's big enough for 9 people, and it's full of mail.
Whoa.
Which on these mountain roads
God.
Right? It's challenging. It's going to be tough.
This is like a nightmare.
I know, right? It sounds terrible. I wouldn't make it.
The wheel would get messed up. She'd have to repair that. It'd be a lot of work.
Again, I was more thinking, you know, like she's like, oh no, the door might stick. Like I was thinking, like the whole dang
the
stagecoach.
wheel's a big thing.
Oh, here we go. The whole stagecoach is going to flip because it's heavy. Or like the horse, you got 6 horses on these mountain passes. It's not great.
And it's just her. That's wild.
It's just her. She's totally alone. So the weather sometimes is so tough that when she can't pass through with the team of horses in the stagecoach, so she just straps on snowshoes and walks the mail herself, carrying it on her back, right? She doesn't need a wheelbarrow like those those construction workers. She just straps it to her back, and it said that sometimes she would walk as far as 30 miles to deliver this mail.
She didn't have an audiobook or a podcast to listen to.
Right?
Just alone with your thoughts.
Yeah. God, that's the most terrifying thing of all, actually. So she is dealing with the weather. Okay. Now she also, we did the bandit woman there, Pearl Hart, right? She's also at really high risk for bandits, robbers.
Yeah.
But it would seem that her reputation preceded her, and she actually was never attempted to be robbed. She always had a gun in her coat, and she had a rifle by her side, and nobody messed with her. They just were like, let's just leave Mary alone. She can punch you out. She punched Bob out down at the saloon in one shot. Let's just like not mess with her.
Yeah.
The bandits are scared of her, but the wildlife has not gotten the memo on Stagecoach Mary.
No.
So
cougars and all that.
Her legendary trip was she is delivering the mail. She comes around a bend, and she's met with a pack of hungry wolves. It freaks the horses. They, of course, neigh and jump, and they take off. It throws Mary from the stagecoach. I think all the wheels were fine, so don't worry about that. It tips the stagecoach over. And so now that it's not on its wheels, it's really heavy. So they're dragging this, but they can't go very far because it just gets stuck, like in all the brush and the trees. So Mary reacts. She gets up off the ground. She runs to the stagecoach and she takes cover. So she's using the stagecoach as a shield. The wolves are circling. Okay.
This is like a movie.
I know. She's got her rifle and she has her pistol. That's all she has. She has a kerosene lamp. She stays up all night by the light of this lamp, defending her team with the team of horses. And one by one, she picks off the wolves with these guns. Which means she has to be a good shot, because that's not a ton of bullets.
Damn.
So when morning arrives, Mary is safe. The horses are all safe. The mail is safe.
Thank goodness.
And there are 8 dead wolves surrounding the stagecoach.
Wow.
Did she eat them?
Oh my God.
Yeah, Meagan, the question all of your listeners had, did she eat them?
I mean, you're on the road. Maybe
did she just barbecue up those wolves for breakfast?
Yeah.
No, I'm guessing she probably needed help. She, as strong as she is, I doubt she could lift the stagecoach back up. So she probably used that moment to unhook the horses and go back into town now that the horses were safe.
Oh, man. I'm sweating a little bit from that.
Yeah, so she becomes a legend at that point,
Yeah.
right? She's just true legend.
Seriously.
Yeah. So she works for about 8 years, and in her early 70s, she retires because she's like, okay, like,
Yeah.
I've done it now.
Yeah, she's
But
had
somebody
quite a
like Mary
life.
can't just retire because she just is such a hard worker. And you know, there's always people who retire and like, I'm just going to sit and watch Lifetime movies now. And then there are some people who just do all this stuff because they can't be still. Well,
Yep.
she had a laundry business in her house, and she would also watch kids, and it was going really well. She had a couple rough customers. Like this one guy said refused to pay because she didn't use enough starch, so she punched him out and he lost a tooth. Then she said,
fair.
well, that tooth's going to cost you more than the starch, so bye. Anyway, everybody else, he must not have got the memo. Like, who knows? Anyway, so she was doing that. It was going well. And then her house burned down.
Why?
By this point, she is such a figure in Cascade that the whole town rallies to help her out. So all of the restaurants and bars give her free drinks, free food. Everybody comes together and gets her new clothes and, you know, new furniture. And then the town raises money and builds her a house.
That's awesome.
Isn't that amazing?
That's called community.
Yeah. And so, I mean, everybody loves her at this point. And she becomes just a living legend, you know, because she was born into slavery. She has no idea of her true birthday. They wouldn't record, right?
Yeah.
Like the true names or the true birthdays. So she would just make it up every year and the whole town would celebrate with her.
I love that.
They would have a whole celebration. And like, as she got into her, into her 70s, she became like the mascot for the local baseball team, and she would take care of their uniforms, and she would travel with them, and she would cuss out the umpires.
So cool.
Like just doing her thing. Everybody loved her. So in 1907, actually, Montana creates a new law that says that no females are allowed in any establishment that serves alcohol.
I'm done with people.
That seems to make sense.
Yeah, obviously. Women shouldn't be drinking whiskey. So Mary doesn't love this. So the mayor of Cascade creates a special exemption just for Mary Fields.
Yes.
So he's like, you do it. You do you, Mary. So she just does whatever she wants, and she's able to go into any saloon that she wants and have her whiskey and her cigar and, you know, punch men in the face. Per their request, not, you know, the ask.
For money.
Yeah, for money and an extra shot of whiskey. Come on. So Mary lived out her days in Cascade until her death in December of 1914 at the age of 82. And
wow,
the entire town shut down for her funeral. Businesses closed, school closed. Her obituary was printed on the front page of both local newspapers. And she is truly remembered as just a living legend.
She's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't she awesome?
Yeah.
She's so cool.
And I haven't read this book, but there is a book called Deliverance, which is just the coolest name for for the book. Deliverance, Mary Fields, first African-American woman, star route mail carrier in the United States, a Montana history, by Miantae, Metcalf, McConnell. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But so grab that book if you want to learn more. I'm just blown away by everything that she survived, right? I mean, she survived 30-something years in slavery.
Yeah.
And then she's having to support herself. I mean, she's a woman in her 60s, 70s. I mean, mailmen nowadays won't deliver the mail if the walk is dusted with snow.
Right.
Which is also fair.
Right? Which, like, I get, like, shovel your walk. But this woman, like, this is just a different life. I mean, she is like, oh, I'm just going to stay up all night and kill these wolves one by one. I'll get your email will be a little late.
It's
Sorry.
Insane. She's amazing. She must be a character in things, right?
There aren't movies. She's like featured as in some movies, but there's not one that's just about her.
Just on her.
Which I would love to see. She just, I mean, just that kind of strength. Like, she exudes strength at every level of this. Her physical strength, her mental strength, her emotional fortitude. It's unbelievable.
Freaking awesome.
That's like so hard to even imagine, like in this day, like getting through any of those things. It's so impressive.
Yeah, you pick one thing that I just talked about and I wouldn't have made it.
I mean, even one thing on the postal route of like, what are you eating? It's really cold. You have to poop in a hole. I mean, like, there's the list of
those
things.
3 things.
What's the chamber pot situation? Because that's all that's keeping me back from being Mary Fields as cool as her. That was the only thing for you.
Yep. She's my hero.
So that's woman number 1. Amazing. I love her. And you should see, there's like one picture of her, and obviously it'll be posted for us. I mean, she wore men's clothes a lot, but there's one picture of her. She's in a traditional dress. Like what, one of the 1800s dress.
The turtleneck with the long one, the ruffles.
She has like one of those little half coats, like pins at the neck, and it stops kind of at her waist. And then she's just holding the rifle, like, and she just looks like what?
Casual.
I can't believe she lived till 80 in the
I was thinking
there's
that
so
too.
much disease and injury during that time, especially in the Wild West. That's insane.
She is busting up all stereotypes, female, race, and age. Yeah. Like, she was doing most of her amazing stuff that got recorded was at 50 and over, or 50 and older. Like, she was looking at these 20-year-old men being like, okay, step aside. I got this, boys. That's unbelievable. Cool.
So good.
So are you ready for the next one?
I'm ready. I don't know if she can top Mary, though.
Now, she is totally different, but I think you will still feel that same inner, like, that little thing you can't describe in both women, right? Okay. She's totally, totally different, though. We're going to talk about Virginia Hall. It's 1941. What are we in the middle of, Alana?
World War II.
Exactly. So at this point, a lot of Europe has been overtaken by the Germans, and Britain is in a tough spot. They're losing a lot of their allies. Mm-hmm. So in 1940, the SOE, or the Special Operations Executive, had formed in order to wage war through like spies and resistance movements. Mm-hmm. And Churchill at this time was famously known for saying, set Europe ablaze.
Yeah.
And a lot of their tactic was to employ female spies.
Yeah.
Because
very cool.
They would just let them pass through checkpoints because they were just innocent little ladies and they're not going to do nothing to you, right? So they would just let them pass through. So they had like this whole spy network. So Virginia Hall would become one of the most successful spies of World War II. And she was known by the Germans as the limping lady. And they wanted her.
Cover?
No, we'll get to it. We'll get to why. She's amazing. So Virginia was born April 6, 1906 in Baltimore, Maryland. Now, she was born into wealth. So that's what I'm saying. On the outside, totally different from Mary, but they've got that same spark inside. So her father was Edwin Hall, and he was an entrepreneur. He's running banks and businesses. He ends up marrying his secretary. Her name is Barbara, and they have Virginia and John, and they live in a mansion in Baltimore.
Okay, wow. So they're doing well.
Yeah, because Virginia's mother was kind of new to wealth, right? She was working class before marrying her husband. She really, really is sensitive to that and wants her daughter to maintain this kind of lifestyle. So she's kind of in Virginia's business a bit. And she wants to make sure Virginia marries well and that Virginia marries rich and that, she's upholding the standards of this high society.
Got it.
So she starts by providing her children with the best education. So Virginia attends the Roland Park County School, and then she goes on to Radcliffe and Barnard College. Now, Virginia wasn't really the debutante that her mother was hoping for. So right away, you kind of see it right out of the gate. Virginia is captain of the field hockey team. She's editor of the school newspaper. She was involved in drama, but she opted to play all of the male parts because she's at a girls' school. But she wanted to play all the male parts so that she could be in the fight scenes.
Love her.
Okay. She loved to go hunting. And there's a famous story about her showing up wearing snakes as a bracelet that just is solidified in everybody's mind. She was like, check out my new bracelet. She's got, I assume.
That feels like a very Alana movie.
Right?
I was like, this is if I was born into this family, this is the child they get.
Exactly. So at 19, her parents, who their only concern, right, is to marry her off well. Yeah. Right? That's all they got going. They kind of betroth her to this suitor that they think will be a good business arrangement for them. Virginia is only 19. She's in college. This guy is dating other women and doesn't particularly seem interested in Virginia. So Virginia makes a decision here. She says, I can't do this. And I'm going to go finish my college education in Paris. And she breaks off the engagement. So
love her.
Yeah.
How could she just do that, though?
She just
Her parents are like, all right.
I don't know, but she did it. So she goes to finish her education in Paris. She falls in love over there, like with the city, not with gentlemen or females. She just falls in love with the city.
Yeah.
She's really good at languages. She is able to speak French, Spanish, Russian, Italian, and German.
But do you think her French accent's as good as mine?
There's no way.
Probably better.
There's no way. I mean, she was a successful World War II spy. There's no way it could be as good as you. So,
oui.
Yeah. In 1929, Virginia goes back to Baltimore for a bit, and her family has suddenly been destroyed by the Depression, one of Alana's other favorite moments in history.
Yeah, 1930s.
And
Mm-hmm.
she loves all of like the
Grapes
terror.
of Wrath.
Oh yeah.
Okies.
Anything bad that happened, she's like
all over it.
Amazing. Let's talk
They're
about
big events.
She's like, could you please earmuff me, but could we dive into the terror that happened to, millions of people? So her father they are basically, I mean, they lose all their money. And her father actually has a stress heart attack from this, and he passes away at the same time.
Oh, man.
So now it's just her mother who, and there are no longer any kind of high society things to uphold.
Right,
They are not wealthy anymore. So Virginia's like, all right, well, I'm pretty much free to do what I want. Peace out. Her goal has always been to be a diplomat. That is what she wants to do. That's what she's always wanted to do. Her father had been supportive of that. That's why he had gotten her all of these language courses, and that's why she was so good at languages. But it's hard to break into, and it's especially hard for females to break into, right? There are only a handful of female diplomats at
They're
the
not
time.
going to take you seriously and all that.
So she starts in Warsaw, Poland as a consular service clerk, which is basically doing the paperwork for like that kind of stuff. And she's maybe decoding a message or two. She's like doing paperwork, getting visas squared away. It's not what she wants to do, but she's hoping that she can work her way up.
Yeah, you gotta
she
start
takes
somewhere.
the diplomat exam and she scores 100%.
Whoa.
But they still won't let her be a diplomat. So she's like, all right, I'm going to go try somewhere else. So she moves to Turkey and she tries there and she's trying to break in. And here she suffers a hunting accident. So she's hunting with her friends. She's trying to scale a fence and her gun accidentally goes off and she shoots herself in the foot.
Limping.
Well, more than that, infection sets in. She has to have it amputated from the knee down.
Oh.
And then she's 27 at the time, and she has to relearn how to walk on a prosthetic leg, which at this time is
Cannot
a wooden
imagine.
leg.
It's great. Oh, that would hurt so bad.
It's incredibly painful, and she has to relearn everything. I mean, your whole center of gravity, all your balance.
Yeah.
And she names her wooden leg Cuthbert, and that's how she refers to it from there on out. Like, this woman's resilience is clearly there.
I love her.
Yeah, seriously.
And some of the historians actually think, well, it was a tragic accident, but they think that at that point in her life, she was kind of feeling defeated. Like, I'm never going to be a diplomat like I want to be.
Yeah,
like, I'm just going to be a clerk. This is it for me. And then they felt like it's possible that this terrible thing that happened to her kind of ignited her resiliency again. And she was like, hold up. Like, I want more for my life. Like, I had just had this terrible thing happen to me. I want more. So she's 27 when this happens. She takes time. It takes a while to heal. She has to relearn everything. And World War II starts, and she's in her early 30s. She's hating her job at this point, and she just quits, and she goes to France, and she becomes an ambulance driver. She kind of just starts over. Now, in 1940, France is invaded.
Yep.
After this event is when she decides to join the SOE in Britain. So because she can speak so many languages, they take her on as a spy.
Oh, it's so cool.
Okay. So cool.
And about a third of the spies were thought to be women at this point, and the spies' survival rate was about 50%.
Yikes.
So
oof.
This is a dangerous job, right?
Yeah.
Now, her code name was Heckler, and she worked under a woman named Vera Atkins, and you may have heard of her. Vera
I've
Atkins
heard of her.
Is mentioned, who's another amazing woman. She was a British intelligence officer known for her just unbelievable talent to decode messages that nobody else could, but also she was really calm under pressure. But she added to that, which made her kind of stand out, is that she was really caring and compassionate for anybody under her charge, right? So any of her network, she was really protective. And it's estimated that she sent out about 400 spies during World War II. And after the war, 118 were considered missing. And she took the time to track down as many as she could to find out they were dead, but to find out what had happened to them so she could tell their families. She found out what happened to all of them except for one.
Wow.
So this is now the person that Virginia is working under.
Okay.
So in 1941, she takes cover as a reporter for the New York Post, and she would publish intel, like messages that way. And she's also seemed to have a knack for recruiting and for training resistance movements. So she is recruiting her own network of spies, everyone from nuns to women working in brothels.
Yeah.
So she is able to get information because these German officers are just, again, making the assumption that women, especially the nuns and the prostitutes, what are they? They don't know anything. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
They're making these assumptions that are not going great.
Yeah, but remember Sound of Music? The nuns.
Was she a prostitute?
Oh, wow. You
yes,
went one way.
they hid. Yep. They hid the. Yeah, okay, now I'm with you.
the brothel and the Sound of Music. You missed that scene.
I missed that scene. Did they? Is that in the director's cut? So she's organizing resistance fighters. She's carrying messages through checkpoints. She's decoding messages. She's also partnered with a gentleman named Dr. Jean Rousset. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he was a doctor, and together they would break prisoners of war or prisoners out of these camps, and they would have them pretend that they were mentally ill and drive them through checkpoints and carry them to safety. The fact that Virginia actually had a limp worked in her favor for a long time because it was another was another layer of invisibility. People would underestimate her because she was female and because she had a prosthetic leg. They would just overlook her and not like, why would this kind of woman be a spy? Right. That's ridiculous. Because she had actually been turned down once after the injury. The reason she was turned down to be a diplomat was because she now had a prosthetic leg. So it's working in her favor for a minute. But she becomes so successful and so good at her job that now it becomes a distinctive feature that the Nazis are on the lookout for. So, as particular, there was in France, one of the chief of the Gestapo, Klaus Barbie, which is, go ahead, I know you want to riff on that name, Alana.
No, nothing to comment on here.
Yeah.
Klaus.
Yeah, Klaus Barbie. So he is looking for Virginia, and he posts her picture all over, like saying that she's a terrible enemy, and he calls her the limping lady. We must find her and destroy her. Okay. Yikes. So Klaus is head of the Gestapo from 1942 to 1944, and it's thought that he deported around 7,500 people, and that he was responsible for the death of at least 4,000 people, whom he would often torture himself. Well, just a side note, when the war ended, Klaus was actually captured by the Americans, but they let him
tortured to death.
They let him work as counterintelligence, which they later apologized for. And he was eventually caught in 1972.
And tortured to death.
And he was sentenced for crimes against humanity in 1987, but he showed zero remorse and was proud of his service.
Ew,
he was given a life sentence, and he died in prison after 4 years. So that's the man who's
Hopefully
hunting
they
her.
cut off his toes or something.
I don't know. I don't
and let the mice eat the rest.
Maybe he stubbed his toe at least every day.
Hopefully, at least.
So in November 1942, Virginia's compromised because her picture has been plastered all over. Plus, the location of the safe house where she's staying gets leaked, and she has to get out of there. She literally has to flee, and she has to flee via the Pyrenees Mountains. So they call it the Freedom Trail. It's 44 miles, and it is arduous hike for experienced hikers on a nice day. She has to go during the snow, like through the snow during the wintertime with a prosthetic leg.
Oh my God.
And it's high elevation. It's treacherous.
Are there
it's
a bunch of them?
It's just she's alone.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
So she has to make this hike on her own with her prosthetic leg. I mean, it must have been so painful because you slip on the ice, you fall, you're falling off a cliff to your death.
Yeah.
So she has to make sure she's
cold.
not falling, and like if it's adjusting or if it's slipping, like that is so painful to her. Like she's putting most of the weight on that standing leg. She makes it.
What?
Okay.
That's
she makes it.
insane.
She makes it to Spain, and they take her in. She has to spend a few weeks in jail because she doesn't have the proper paperwork, but eventually the embassy gets her out and like take her back. Dr. Rousset did not make it.
Mm.
He was executed. And it's thought that 1 in 5 of the people who actually helped Virginia would end up dying for helping her in some way. So she had to lay low for a little bit because her picture was plastered all over.
Yeah.
And in 1944, she actually joins the American Office of Strategic Services, the OSS, which would later become the CIA.
Oh.
So she wants to go undercover. That's all she wants to do. But again, people know her. So what she does is she hires a makeup artist to teach her how to apply makeup to make her look older.
Okay.
She dyes her hair gray, and she has a dentist grind down her white, big American teeth so that she
What?
looks like a poor French countrywoman, like an
Oh my
aging woman.
God.
And then she lives on a farm as a milkmaid with goats in France, and she delivers milk and cheese to the Germans, and they don't think she can speak German, so she just
Listens.
gives back intel. She sends back things that she overhears.
Wow. She's so committed to the cause.
Yeah, what dedication.
I don't want to
Right?
grind my teeth down. Like, I'll do the other
I
things,
know.
but like, imagine.
You'll do the other things.
You don't personally want to grind your teeth.
No.
I'll do everything else, but I
That's
draw the line at
shocking.
teeth.
Imagine how that feels. It's like you're vibrating your whole head when you grind it down.
So you don't mind the after effect of having
Yeah, it
these
sounds
stubby
horrific.
teeth.
Yeah.
You just don't want the 20 minutes of the grinding.
Correct.
That's an interesting choice. So, I mean, I'm like glossing over all the stuff she's doing, but imagine just just the tiny act, like one of the smaller things she did of like delivering information through a checkpoint. She's got it somewhere on her body or in her head or whatever. And
Everything's a high tension moment.
yeah, she has to believe, like make them believe that she's just this
No,
poor
I
little...
wouldn't be able to do a single one of these.
No, God, no.
I feel like I wouldn't have even gotten from like America overseas at that time.
I mean,
I couldn't even have gone to college in Paris. That's where I'm at. I'm not even making it. I'm betrothed to the cheater and just hating my life as a housewife. That's as far as I get.
Right.
I mean, Alana, you couldn't be a spy.
You know what? You never know. No, I would
I've
not. Just
seen-
giggle. I would giggle the whole time.
I know exactly.
I've seen you try to say a lie, and it does not go well. You would not make it.
No, I'll go and bust the people out.
You could be in La Resistance, but that's it.
That's it.
You could be a resistance fighter, but they are not putting you at the front to like in
no
makeup
spy
or
work.
something. You'd be like, "Oh, hi, Klaus!" Oh, you wouldn't be able to do it.
You would just want to do accents so bad.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't be able to help
Klaus, how are
yourself.
you?
You'd be like, "Why are you speaking American? Why are you speaking English in a German accent? Why wouldn't you speak German to me? This already things aren't adding up." Breaking people out of prisons, breaking people out, and she would get like pilots who had been downed in their plane. She would get them to safe houses, things like that.
That's so cool.
Yikes! So she's living as a milkmaid. She's getting intel. She's also organizing bombings that would destroy the plans that they had laid out.
Whoa!
Wow.
I mean, really, truly doing so much to help defeat the Nazis in World War II. So in 1945, the war is over. So she's awarded the Service Cross of the United States, which is a huge accomplishment, but she asked for it to be private because she doesn't want anybody to know that she has it because she wants to go back undercover.
What?
And she stays on with the CIA as one of their first female agents.
Wow. Why is she so cool? But her teeth are never going to grow back. So
I know. I always wonder, like, did she get dentures? What happened with the teeth? At 44, she actually marries another spy. His name is Paul, and he has a very French name. Guillou, I believe is how you say it. And they end up going undercover in Italy for a different kind of mission.
This has to be a book. Like, this is like a total novel. And
at 60, Virginia retires, and she never spoke of her mission. So it's only till recently that a lot's been coming out on her. She died in 1982 at the age of 72, and most of the information about her until recently was in the CIA museum, which is not accessible to the public.
Wow.
And so she never spoke out ever about what she did and what happened over there. Because she said, many of my friends were killed for talking too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she just never.
She's got to carry a lot of trauma.
Yeah. So just recently, in the last few years, there's a few books out. One is A Woman of No Importance by Sonia Purnell. That is about Virginia Hall's life. And then there is A Call to Spy, which came out in 2019, which has Vera Atkins as well as Virginia Hall, as well as another British Indian spy that was well known during that time, all female. Yeah, so that is Virginia Hall. I mean,
that's so cool.
This is a fact that I can't, like, she has a prosthetic leg, and that's when she's at a point in her life where she's like, all right, now, like, this is holding me back, so now I'm gonna up it and become the most successful spy.
A lot of people would just give up at that point and like sit in front of the TV or something.
For sure.
And she used it to her advantage. Like, that's what these women have in common. Like, take what other people are looking at as, you know, something to hold against you or something that's a challenge, and they're using it to their advantage. Like, Mary's like, I am super strong. Watch this. I'm gonna punch you out, and I'm gonna survive, and I'm gonna shoot the wolves and save my life. And then she's like, okay, well, I'll just pretend I'm an old woman. That'll work for me, and I'll just shut you guys down.
No, I mean, the strategic points that she did to help defeat the Nazis are so freaking cool.
Amazing.
Love
so
her.
I want to watch that. I want to watch that movie for sure. And I mean, this is like every day she goes out, she doesn't know if she's going to come back.
You got a 50-50 chance.
And it would have been a terrible death too. She would have been tortured for information.
Yep.
And she was able to, because she had wanted to be a diplomat so much that she had learned all of these languages. Apparently her accent was a giveaway. Ironically, she did not have, she still had an accent when she spoke, letting people know that she wasn't native to those areas. But she spoke so well that Klaus thought she was actually Canadian. He believed she was Canadian because he didn't think Americans could speak that fluently. It's like, she couldn't be American. Funny. So they thought she was Canadian for a long time.
Wow.
But yeah, it's really shows you, like, you think that your life is going to go one way, and you prepare for it, and it just doesn't. But everything that she had prepared for, she used, right? Every adversity, everything that she had studied, it was what helped her become a successful spy and save so many lives.
That's wild. Jingle, jangle. I'm just thinking, like, would that really happen today, or does there need to be like a significant event, like a great war, for your life to change so dramatically? Or like, I don't know.
Well, you're going to need a war to be a spy, I think. Like, you're going to need a little something.
Well, not really. I guess nowadays you could just go spy on our enemies.
I guess. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. I'm not. I'm just not. I would immediately be like, oh, I'm sorry, what? Just freeze. Here it is. Here's the paper. Bye. I'm sorry. Bye. The worst spy ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be great at spy.
No.
I'd get too mad.
I wouldn't have been great on the postal route either.
That's
a hard job today.
Yeah.
Forget about it in the 1800s. No, thank you.
Right?
What about you, Mary Kate? You think you could have been a spy?
I just feel like, no, I'd be a horrible spy. Horrible. Like, not a chance. I feel like these two women just make me want to be cooler.
I know, right? Like, what am I doing with my life? Get it together.
Nothing.
Right.
I'm having an existential crisis.
I know.
Like, and they're not even, what's so amazing about both of them is they just knew who they were, and that was it.
They were fully themselves.
Yeah,
fully themselves, and they wanted
and that's hard
no
to be
recognition.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very hard, especially for Mary to be who she wants to be at that point in time. But like for Virginia, you know, she never let it be public, any of her awards be publicly recognized, because she wanted to keep doing that and keep it under wraps and keep anybody who might still be out there safe. She just kept quiet. Nobody even knew for a really long time.
Yeah.
Except the CIA. It's
so
it's
cool.
Insane. Yeah.
Yeah. She was literally just doing it to do good.
Yeah. Right.
Like, not for recognition.
Yep.
Yeah. I think, a part of her, you have to like it on some level too. And maybe
Oh, for sure. It like
you have to like
energizes
that
her and gives her
adventure or
purpose.
that adrenaline or something.
No doubt.
You have to be built to want to do it, I would think. But I don't know. When people are put in these extraordinary positions, like that's where you'd be surprised by the kind of people who step forward.
Yeah. That's where you find the real grit yourself. Flop or fly.
Flop or fly.
You hit it here
All right.
first.
Well, Merry Christmas, Alana.
Yeah, that was amazing. I love them.
I'm gonna find an extra violent female murderess for next time.
No.
But we're gonna take the week between or next week off because we'll be
it's
enjoying Christmas. Yeah. But then we'll be back in the new year, 2023, with just our true crime friends, our true crime ladies. Yeah. Mary Kate will be hiding in her closet. Alana will be earmuffing, and I'll just be talking to myself.
Classic.
Just all the locks. All the locks on all the doors.
All the locks. Hey, Mary Kate, question. Did you ever go to the club? What was it called?
No,
Club
that
Seduction
was high school.
with Alana? Oh, that's right. You went to Club Seduction in high school. Excuse me. I don't know how I made that mistake.
My parents dropped me off, so it was the whole thing.
I need to talk to Jackie about this. I don't understand how you're like, all right, have fun at Club Seduction tonight. Oh, 16-year-old Alana.
Alana had a wild high school life.
18 and under.
18 and under. And who are the marketing geniuses who are like, let's open an 18 and under club and call it Club Seduction?
I don't know why they did that. That was not right. Anyways,
that is more terrifying than any true crime we've talked about. The fact that was happening.
It's outrageous,
right? Would that have gone over in your house, Mary Kate?
No.
Her house is the best. I got to be a sibling during all the little breaks during college because I wouldn't go all the way back to California.
Oh, nice.
Just eating Jesus wafers and stepping on Irish potatoes. Living the dream.
What?
In Philadelphia. Never mind.
Why are you? Did you go to communion with him?
Yeah, we went. Yeah.
Against the advice of me, Alana took communion.
I don't think you're not supposed to.
No.
Ma'am.
I was like, you just stay here. Like, we're going to head up. Just stay here. And I turn around and she's right behind me in the line. And then we went back to the pew and we're reflecting. And then 3 minutes later, Alana nudged me and just opened her little palm. And she still had the communion.
You didn't take it?
I don't know.
She had taken it, but she hadn't eaten it. She was like, what do I do? I was like, eat it.
Oh my sneaking it in my mouth.
Why didn't you stay in the seat?
I don't know. It was a whole thing.
Oh my goodness, Mother.
She got swept up in the excitement of it all.
Mother Amadeus would be livid. You're not supposed to take
it. The bishop would
maybe
livid.
Mother Amadeus would, but that bishop is so mad.
The bishop
You're not supposed to take
my ass.
communion unless you've been through your first communion, ma'am, which Mary Kate and I clearly did.
Yep.
Yes.
And there's a whole thing. Did you even know which hand to put on top? Did you even know how you're supposed to do this? There's a whole thing. You're supposed to, or stick out your tongue. Did you do either of those?
Yeah, or you can stick out your tongue.
No.
The people who stick out their tongue are interesting to me. That's a choice. Do you stick out your tongue, Mary Kate? Have I just offended you?
No. Yeah. No. It's the old school way to do it, right? Which is just so wild.
Yeah, everybody 80 and over is just
it looks so silly.
I know. And he has to
you're trying to catch snowflakes.
Well, the priest has to get a little bit of tongue when he puts it on there. I mean, those wafers are thin.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Gross.
They should use tweezers.
Yeah. Like grilling prongs. Here you go.
Oh boy.
Man, I wonder if Mary Fields ever did communion. She maybe by accident. Maybe she got caught up in it with Mother Amadeus and Mother Amadeus turns out she's like, Mary, no. And Mary's like, I just wanted the wine. All right, never mind. I'll go to the saloon. Forget it. Yeah. You guys are the worst. Pay me more than $50.
Seriously.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Alana, do you have any last words for us today?
Oh, man. I mean, if you're just sitting in your life and, paying the bills and stuff, just you have that burning sensation inside you. first go
You
to
might
a
have a
doctor.
UTI. Go to the doctor.
That
Try that
burning
again.
urge. No, that's not the right word. That passion that is just sitting because it's like, oh, nobody does that anymore, or I'm not set up for this. Just go for it. And even if you don't get there, at least you went for it.
Yeah, you might. Everything you
might
did to get there
defeat
might
the
turn into
Nazis.
something else. Yeah, and you might become the most successful
Yeah.
spy or the first African American postal carrier. Well, postal carrier doesn't even sound cool enough. Like if you think about it in today's
know.
terms, like I don't,
She was
male
like a
warrior.
postal
Like
warrior.
you
Yeah,
could be the first
exactly.
postal person to space.
Oh wow.
I'm just setting the bar.
Right. So listen to your gut is what you're saying,
Yes.
and go for it.
Just go for it. Life's too short. Like, what's the point?
Yeah. Mary Kate, you got any last words?
Oh.
No, just thank you for having me. This was so exciting.
I felt like it was a slumber party.
Merry Christmas, Alana.
Merry Christmas.
All right. You can find Mary Kate's album on all of the normal things that you can find our podcast on. Just Spotify, Amazon Music, all that jazz. You find it there. Please like and leave a review for both. A review with words.
Yes.
Please. And subscribe to our podcast. Tell your friends. Who are we telling today, Alana?
Mary Kate.
The last one of the year.
Oh my gosh. Dads, moms, babies, brothers, sisters, your postal workers.
Yeah. Your spies. But you don't know who
they are. Your local spy.
Your nosy neighbors.
Yes. No Nazis.
Okay.
No.
All right. Cool it. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening, and we will be back in the new year. Bye.
Bye.
Hit it, Mary Kate. Give us a bye.
Oh, bye. Oh, I got so nervous. Man,
it's like Alana was just, it was like you encompassed Alana's energy there.
See, I couldn't be a spy.
Klaus Barbie, tell me where you come from.
Really, hi. I'm so sorry.
Philadelphia.
Oh my God, I'm American. Leave me alone. All right, bye for real. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.